Hey y'all, it's me, Kevvie. So I've seen people post a bunch of videos about their 2023 most anticipated new releases. But as I was watching them, I kept wondering, where are all the trans people? So I did a quick Google search, and to my delight, I found a list of 18 books by trans authors coming out next year. In this video, I'm gonna share the ones I'm most excited for, and then I will have that article in the description below, so you can go and see the rest. But before I get into all that, I want to talk about shopqueer.co. Shopqueer.co is a bookstore founded by queer people to support queer authors and readers. And they recently sent me a few books I wanted to share with y'all. The first is Beyond the Gender Binary by Oakes-Monger. In this book, Alok challenges the world to see gender not in black or white, but in full color. Taking from their own experiences as a gender non-conforming artist, they show us that gender is a malleable and creative form of expression. The only limit is your imagination. Next is the graphic novel Genderqueer by Mayako Babe. Started as a way to explain to our family what it means to be non-binary and asexual, Genderqueer is more than a personal story. It is a useful and touching guide on gender identity, what it means, and how to think about it, for advocates, friends, and humans everywhere. They also sent me the YA novel Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. Felix Love has never been in love, and yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that, even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many, black, queer, and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. Oof, now that is relatable. Oh, I'm really excited to read all of these books. Thank you so much, shopqueer.co, for sending them to me. They are also currently doing a special promotion called the Holiday Box. These boxes take all the hard work out of holiday shopping with pre-curated selections to fit your favorite queer's needs. The 3 books they sent me are the ones featured in the Trans Holiday Box. There are also holiday boxes for lesbians, gays, bis, and even an ally box. There's also a mystery box if you're in the mood for a surprise. The perfect gift for someone you love, or even yourself. And remember, when you buy from shopqueer.co, the queer authors get double the royalties that they do from other retailers. Support queer business, queer authors, and all the wonderful queers in your life with shopqueer.co. First up, we have a short story collection called All the Things They Said We Couldn't Have, Stories of Trans Joy by T.C. Oakes-Monger. Transition has not been something linear for me. My joy has come in seasons. Now more than ever, trans people deserve to hear stories of joy and hope, where being trans doesn't have to be defined by fear and dysphoria, but can be experienced through courage, freedom, and the love and acceptance of their chosen families. Through a series of uplifting, generous, and beautifully crafted vignettes, T.C. Oakes-Monger gently leads you through the cycle of the seasons, beginning in autumn and the shedding of leaves and identity, moving through the darkness of winter, its cold days, and the reality of daily life, into spring, newness and change, and ending with the joy of long summer days and being out and proud, and invites you to find similar moments of joy in your life. Celebratory and empowering, these stories are a reminder of the power joy can bring, and that'll be coming out January 19th. Next is a sci-fi novel called World Running Down by Hess. Valentine Weiss is a salvager in the future wastelands of Utah. Wrestling with body dysmorphia, he dreams of earning enough money to afford citizenship in Salt Lake City, a utopia where the testosterone and surgery he needs to transition is free, the food is plentiful, and folks are much less likely to be shot full of arrows by salt pirates. But earning that kind of money is a pipe dream, until he meets the exceptionally handsome Osric. Once a powerful AI in Salt Lake City, Osric has been forced into an android body against his will, and sent into the wasteland to offer Valentine a job on behalf of his new employer, an escort service seeking to retrieve their stolen androids. The reward is a visa into the city, and a chance at the life Valentine's always dreamed of. But as they attempt to recover the merchandise, they encounter a problem. The android ladies are becoming self-aware and have no interest in returning to their old lives. The prize is tempting, but carrying out the job would go against everything Valentine stands for, and would threaten the fragile found family that's kept him alive so far. He'll need to decide whether to risk his own dream in order to give the AI a chance to live theirs. And that will be coming out February 14th. Next up is the fantasy collection Transmogrify, edited by G. Haron Davis. Perfect for fans of All Out and Cemetery Boys, this anthology claims a seat at the table of fantasy literature for trans and gender nonconforming stories. Transness is as varied and colorful as magic can be. In Transmogrify, you'll embark on 14 different adventures alongside unforgettable characters who embody many different genders and expressions and experiences. Because magic is for everyone, and that is a cause for celebration. Featuring stories from A.R. Capetta and Corey McCarthy, G. Heron Davis, Mason Deaver, Jonathan Lenore Caston, Emery Lee, Sandra Mitchell, Cam Montgomery, Ash Nouveau, Sonora Reyes, Renee Reynolds, Dove Salvatierra, Aida Shonabar, Francesca Tacci, and Nick Traxler. That'll be out May 16th. Next is a romance called A Shot in the Dark by Victoria Lee. Elishiva Cohen has just returned to Brooklyn after almost a decade. The wounds of abandoning the Orthodox community that raised her, then shunned her because of her substance abuse, are still painful. But when she gets an amazing opportunity to study photography with art legend Wyatt Cole, Eli is willing to take the leap. On her first night back in town, Eli goes out to the infamous queer club Revel for a celebratory night of dancing. Eli is swept off her feet and into bed by a gorgeous man who looks like James Dean, with a thick Carolina accent. The next morning, Eli wakes up alone and rushes off to attend her first photography class, reminiscing on the best one-night stand of her life. She doesn't even know his name. That is, until Wyatt Cole shows up for class, and Eli realizes that the man she just spent an intimate and steamy night with is her teacher. Everyone in the art world is obsessed with Wyatt Cole. He's immensely talented, and his notoriously reclusive personal life makes him all the more compelling. But there's a reason his past is hard for him to publicize. After coming out as transgender, Wyatt was dishonorably discharged from the military and disowned by his family. From then on, he committed to sobriety and channeled his pain into his flourishing art career. While Eli and Wyatt's relationship started out on a physical level, their similar struggles spark a much deeper connection. The chemistry is undeniable, but their new relationship as teacher and student means desperately wanting what they can't have. In this deeply romantic adult debut, best-selling author Victoria Lee creates stunningly genuine characters and crafts a love story you won't ever forget. And that will be out on July 11th. Next up is a piece of nonfiction called A Trans Man Walks into a Gay Bar. Brilliant title by Harry Nicholas. On the bookshelves, there was plenty of stuff on being gay and much needed, joyous accounts of what it is to be trans, but nothing really that encapsulates what it is to be both. To exist in the hazy terrain between. After his relationship with his girlfriend of 5 years ended, Harry realized he was a single adult for the first time. Not only that, but a single, transmasculine, and newly out gay man. Despite knowing it was the right decision, the reality of his new situation was terrifying. How could he be a gay man when he was still learning what it was to be a man? Would the gay community embrace him or reject him? What would gay sex be like? And most importantly, would finding love again be possible? In this raw, intimate, and unflinchingly honest book, we follow Harry as he navigates the sometimes fraught and contradictory worlds of contemporary gay culture as a trans gay man, from Grindr, dating and gay bars, to saunas, sex, and ultimately falling in love. Harry's brave and uplifting journey will show you there is joy in finding who you are. That book will be coming out in May. Next up is a memoir that's already making headlines. I'm sure it'll be award-winning for the star power it has alone. And that's Pageboy by Elliot Page. It was 2 months before the world premiere of Juno, and Elliot Page was in his first ever queer bar. The hot summer air hung heavy around him as he looked at her. And then it happened. In front of everyone. A previously unfathomable experience. Here he was on the precipice of discovering himself as a queer person, as a trans person, getting closer to his desires, his dreams, himself, without the repression he'd carried for so long. But for Elliot, 2 steps forward had always come with 1 step back. With Juno's massive success, Elliot became one of the world's most beloved actors. His dreams were coming true, but the pressure to perform suffocated him. He was forced to play the part of the glossy young starlet, a role that made his skin crawl on and off set. The career that had been an escape out of his reality and into the world of imagination was suddenly a nightmare. As he navigated criticism and abuse from some of the most powerful people in Hollywood, a past that snapped at his heels, and a society dead set on forcing him into a binary, Elliot often stayed silent, unsure of what to do, until enough was enough. Full of the behind-the-scenes details and intimate interrogations on sex, love, trauma, and Hollywood, Pageboy is the story of a life pushed to the brink, but at its core, this beautifully written, winding journey of what it means to untangle ourselves from the expectations of others is an ode to stepping into who we truly are with defiance, strength, and joy. Pageboy is coming out June 6th. Finally, my most anticipated book on this list. It is this author's first book since her phenomenal debut, The Little Blue Encyclopedia, the literary fiction novel Any Other City by Hazel Jane Plante. Any Other City is a two-sided fictional memoir by Tracy St. Cyr, who helms the beloved indie rock band Static Saints. Side A is a snapshot of her life from 1993 when Tracy arrives in a labyrinthine city as a fledgling artist and unexpectedly falls in with a clutch of trans women, including the iconoclastic visual artist Sadie Tang. Side B finds Tracy, now a semi-famous musician, in the same strange city in 2019, healing from a traumatic event through songwriting, queer kinship, and sexual pleasure. While writing her memoir, Tracy perceives how the past reverberates into the present, how a body is a time machine, how there's power in refusing to dust the past with powdered sugar, and how seedlings begin to slowly grow in empty spaces after things have been broken open. Motifs recur like musical phrases, and traces of what used to be there peek through, like a palimpsest. Any Other City is a novel about friendship and other forms of love, traveling in a body across decades, and transmuting trauma through art making and queer sex. A love letter to trans femmes and to art itself. And that's going to be coming out April 18th. 2023 is really shaping up to be a great year for trans authors. Which of these are you most excited for? Is there one from the article you'd want to read? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if it pleases and sparkles, I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!